Okay, Michael J here, folks. Listen, I apologize. The last video we did was a live, and I had no idea all the signals that I had audio worked at my end, but I had no audio. I apologize. So, anyways, here's the breaking news thing. Open your eyes. You know, you think you're in control. There's a lot you're not paying attention to, and I'm going to point it out to you. And I had a personal situation, and you know, once that happened, it cost me over $50 million. But because of that, really opened my eyes to things. And so this video we're going to show you now should open your eyes so you understand what to look for to make sure that you see what's going on around you. And remember, fear, division is like crucifixion. Love, peace, balance, and harmony is resurrection. So keep that in your heart. Always let your heart be your guide. So love, peace, and harmony to all. And let's head for the video now.
The self-policing
The
of the
real
human heart
video
goes
here
far
for you,
deeper than
folks.
people in uniform or administrators of government. It starts with conditioned parents who impose their conditioning on their children and pressure them to follow their religious, political, economic, and cultural norms. There is no more extreme example than those who insist their offspring succumb to arranged marriages because of the rules of their ludicrous religion, or the children of Jehovah's Witnesses who have been denied life-saving blood transfusions because their brain-dead parents insist on conducting every aspect of their lives according to the contradictory dictates of a book purveying stories of pure fantasy. The creation of the mental and emotional sheep pen of norms, which imprisons 99% of humanity, goes on minute by minute in subtle and less subtle ways. There are children of Christian, Jewish, Muslim, or Hindu parents who don't accept the religion, but still follow it because they don't want to upset their family. Then there is the almost universal fear of what people think of us if we speak a different version of reality or live a different kind of life. Note that the fear for those who wish to break out of the sheep pen is not the fear of what the elite families, the Illuminati, or illuminated ones, will think of them. Most have no idea that such a network exists. No, the fear is for what their mother or father will think, or their friends and workmates, the very people who are conditioned by the system to stay in the pen. The sheep are keeping the other sheep in line and making life unpleasant for anyone who tries to escape. It is so easy for a small group of interbreeding family bloodlines to control the lives, in other words the minds, of billions, once the key institutions of information are in place, as they have been for thousands of years in their various forms. There are not enough of these manipulators and their stooges to control the population physically, and so they have had to create a structure in which humans control themselves through mental and emotional imposition. Once you have the herd mentality policing itself, there is a third phase in this entrapment of human consciousness. You create factions within the herd and set them to war with each other. This is done by creating different belief systems, which are not different at all, and bringing them into conflict. These belief systems are known as religions, political parties, economic theories, countries, cultures, and isms of endless variety. These beliefs are perceived as opposites when, I am free, they are opposames. The vision of reality and possibility within the pen is so limited that it contains no opposites. So the elite have to create the perception of them to manufacture the divisions that allow them to divide and rule. I mean, what is the difference between a Christian bishop, Jewish rabbi, Muslim, or Hindu priest, or a follower of Buddha, imposing their beliefs on their children and others? There is none, because while the belief they seek to indoctrinate may be slightly different, often very slightly, the overall theme is exactly the same, the imposition of one person's belief on another. Look at the opposames in politics. The far left, as symbolized by Joseph Stalin in Russia, introduced centralized control, military dictatorship, and concentration camps. The opposite of that was the far right, as symbolized by Adolf Hitler. What was he into? Centralized control, military dictatorship, and concentration camps. Yet these two opposames were set at war with each other amid propaganda that claimed they were opposites. The only difference between the Soviet Union and the so-called West during the Cold War was that the Soviet Union was openly controlled by the few and the West was secretly controlled by the few. And, when you get to the capstone of the pyramid, you find they were the same few controlling both sides. See, and the truth shall set you free. So let us summarize the scam. A. You need to first imprison the human mind with a rigid belief and a fundamentally limited sense of reality, the sheep pen. It doesn't much matter what these beliefs may be, so long as they are rigid and discourage free thought and open-minded questions. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and all the rest, each make their contribution to human servitude while apparently claiming different truths. B. You encourage those who follow these rigid beliefs to impose them on others and make life very difficult and unpleasant for anyone who does not conform. C. You bring these beliefs into conflict, so ensuring the divide and rule you so desperately need for control by the few. While the masses are so busy fighting each other and seeking to impose their beliefs and views on each other, they don't see that the Illuminati have strings attached to all of them. Humans are like moths buzzing around a light, so mesmerized by their religious belief, the football scores, the latest row on a soap opera, or the price of friggin' beer, that they fail to notice the preparations being made to smash them on the arse with a swatter. Pyramids within pyramids. The Illuminati have created a pyramid structure throughout society that allows them to operate a global agenda that only a relative handful of people know exists. It is like those Russian dolls with one doll inside another with the biggest one encompassing all of them. The Illuminati replaced the dolls with pyramids, figure 1. Every organization today is a pyramid. The few at the top know what the organization is really about and what it is trying to achieve. The further you go down the pyramid, the more people work for the organization, but the less they know about its real agenda. They are only aware of the individual job they do every day. They have no idea how their contribution connects with that of other employees in other areas of the company. They are compartmentalist from that knowledge and told only what they need to know to do their work. These smaller pyramids, like the local branch of a bank, fit into bigger and bigger pyramids, until eventually you have the pyramid that encompasses all the banks. It is the same with the transnational corporations, political parties, secret societies, media empires, and the military. If you go high enough, all the transnational corporations, like the oil cartel, major political parties, secret societies, media empires, and the military, via NATO, for instance, are controlled by the same pyramids and the same people who sit at the top of all the pyramids. In the end, there is a global pyramid that encompasses all the others, the biggest doll, if you like. At the top of this you will find the most elite of the Illuminati, the purest of their bloodlines. In this way, they can coordinate through apparently unconnected, even opposing, areas of society, the same policies. This is how they have created the explosion of centralization in every area of life: government, finance, business, media, military. It is not by accident or natural occurrence. It is by coldly calculated design. Jim Shaw, a former 33rd degree Freemason, exposes the craft in his book, The Deadly Deception, Huntington House Incorporated, Lafayette, Louisiana, 1988. He describes how Freemasonry is based on the same compartmentalist pyramids. At the bottom are the 3 degrees known as the blue degrees, and the vast majority of Freemasons never progress beyond that through either the 33 degrees of the Scottish Rite or the 10 degrees of the York Rite, * even at the 33rd degree of Freemasonry you still don't know the real secrets unless you are one of the chosen few, bloodline. Shaw says he was surprised when a fellow 33rd degree Mason said that they had told him he was going higher, and the guy left the temple by a different door. Point 1 There is, officially, no higher than the 33rd degree. But, of course there is. The top levels of the secret societies are only the top of their pyramid. They are also encompassed by a bigger pyramid, which includes all the secret societies, and they feed their chosen bloodline initiates into the unofficial Illuminati degrees where the real action and the real secrets are. But even at that level, the knowledge is still compartmentalist. So you have this vast web of secret societies with millions of members worldwide who think they know what they are involved in, but, in truth, only a tiny few have any idea of what is going on and who, ultimately, is calling the shots. Albert Pike, who died in 1891, was one of the most preeminent figures in world Freemasonry. Among his titles were Sovereign Grand Commander of the Supreme Council of the 33rd Degree and Supreme Pontiff of Universal Freemasonry. In his book, Morals and Dogma, written for higher degree Freemasons, he reveals the way the lower levels are misled. The blue degrees are but the outer court or portico of the temple. Part of the symbols are displayed there to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. It is not intended that he shall understand them, but it is intended that he shall imagine that he understands them. Their true implication is reserved for adepts, the princes of Masonry. Exactly. Jim Shaw says that there are two kinds of Freemason. One just sits through the meetings and doesn't make much effort to understand the ritual, and the other does all the work, but only keeps to the ritual and memorizes or reads the words without understanding what they really mean. That's correct, but there is a third kind, the very few who know the truth of who really controls Freemasonry and what the rituals and initiations are really designed to achieve. Shaw also confirms from his own experience how the Freemasons manipulate their own into whatever positions they choose. At work, his department director, a fellow Freemason, advised him to apply for a particular job. Shaw felt he was underqualified for the post and would fail the test paper. Only through the urging of his Freemason boss did he apply. When he arrived to take the test, he was amazed to see that there were only 2 other applicants for a job he believed would be keenly contested. When he turned over the test paper, he saw that the questions were very easy and he finished them quickly. His 2 rivals, however, were clearly finding the paper very tough and could not complete it in the allotted time. Shaw got the job. Why? Because he was not given the same paper as the other 2. When he walked out of Freemasonry, the opposite happened. He found his bosses far less supportive, to say the least. This is just one small example of how the Illuminati and their secret society web ensure that their guys are in the positions that matter. It is actually astonishing how few people you need to control to dictate your agenda through the whole system if they are A, in the key positions of decision-making, and B, they have the power to appoint those in the important positions below them. An example, you control the chief of police who decides the policy, and he can appoint the heads of the various departments in his force. He introduces Illuminati policy and chooses his major subordinates from the secret society initiates. They, in turn, can appoint the people within their departments and can thus choose more secret society initiates for the positions below them. So it goes on. Once you have control of the top man in any organization, the pyramid is built in his, i.e. the Illuminati's, image. Governments are structured in the same way. See you soon on the next episode.
So, folks, you really think you know what's going on? Gotta pay attention. Things aren't going the way you think it is. So listen, stay safe, be good. Michael J., talk to you soon. Take care, and just take everything with deference, folks.